Merry Christmas. I did not intend to be doing a video tonight. I actually had planned to do one later on in this week. And this is the one time that I'm pretty sure this is going to be empty. Yeah, this is probably going to be empty. But I thought it would be, I think my cat is climbing up on the side. Oh, Merry Christmas, Corey and Ian. Hope Santa treated you well. So what I'm doing tonight, and I said I wasn't going to do this, but after Christmas I decided, yeah, I do want to do this. And what I'm doing tonight is a top 19. Hey Tim, I was wanting my rod. My cat's right over. Where you at? He's so expressive. So this is my top 19 Blu-ray releases of 2018. Now, it had to have been something that I have so that I actually... Are my cats carnivores? No, or I'd be gone by now. Because if I don't feed them, they'll get me. My whole family? No, Ian, I wish my kids are in Halifax because my eldest is working. And my youngest is actually on break, but you don't want to break them up in their first year away from home together in Christmas. So I actually spoke to them tonight, said Merry Christmas. We're going to FaceTime tomorrow. The rest of my family, well, one of my sisters is in Newfoundland, one's in well, I had to work over yeah, I did too, actually, Christmas Eve. We both had to work on Christmas Eve. Only difference is, well, she'll get better pay than I will for that work and less irritating customers. I'm going to say something right now, and I got to say this. If you are somebody that goes to do things at the last minute, and I will get, she gets better holiday pay, but I do get, if you wait till the last minute or you call into somebody on Christmas or Christmas Eve, please be nice. These people are having to work the really crappy shifts, and the last thing they want is to yeah, don't be a jerk. Whether you're going into a place or whether you're calling in to check on an order or on something like that, yeah, the people on the other side have feelings. Don't be mean to them. So what we're going to do tonight, and the deal here is that in 2019-18, there's a lot of releases that I didn't get. So before I even start, I'm going to give you some releases that I didn't get that I think are top-notch releases. Now, one thing that I do recommend, if you haven't checked it out yet, is Just the Disc did a superb episode on their top 5 releases. Stephanie and Brian, who come in here a lot, actually did their top 5, and actually one of Stephanie's top 5 releases, I think, is right here. Yeah, that's the thing. And you know, if you waited till December the 22nd to get your present for December the 24th, it's on you. I'm just saying, it's on you. So they did a really, really good list. And they listed some stuff that I don't have in my collection. So I do want to mention certain things. I do think that episode needs to be watched, needs to be listened to, because honestly, it made me take out my pen and paper and get a list. Basically I just there's a lot of really good stuff, whether it be from Indicator or Shout Select, 2 companies. Well, Indicator I really do like. Shout Select I haven't looked into enough. That's going to change next year. The amount of stuff that Shout Select put out that I want, yeah, I've got to so I'm watching Infinity War. That's kind of neat though, on Netflix. Yeah. It's a fun movie. It really is. So I'm going to get right into it, and these are the top 19 of 2018 that I picked up this year. And I'm going to start in no order in particular. I guess you can say it's top 18, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 2 sets together to make it a top 18, so we can be fair. So one thing that I do say from Indicator is I love the stuff that they put out. Their packaging is just levels above when it comes to just the way they do things. So I have to say that the 2 box sets that I picked up from Indicator this year were Hammer Volumes 2 and 3. Now, of course, Volume 1 came out in 2017, but these 2 here came out in 2018, and they did really, really good jobs with both of these box sets. In 2019, they're looking to put out, I think, another 2 Hammer box sets. So if you haven't quite got them yet, I would suggest grabbing these up ASAP so that you're ready for when the next 2 come out. Because trust me, once you get the first 3, you're really going to want the next 2. They deal with a lot of different types of Hammer films, where most people like think Hammer, they think Dracula or Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, like the horror stuff. There's actually a lot more to Hammer, and you get to see a lot of different stuff here. Like, actually, I haven't seen much of the Orville, Ian. I did like what I've seen. I've seen like the first 2 or 3 episodes, but I was waiting till the end of the season kind of to buy it, so I need to buy the first season before the second season starts up, and then I'll start watching it. I do tend to buy like box sets of shows too, that way I can watch them at my leisure, or binge them at my leisure. But this one here has like some really, really good releases. The Snorkel, Never Take Sweets from a Stranger, The Full Treatment, and Cash on Demand, which is definitely the winner for that one. Like it's a good set all around, but Cash on Demand is particularly good actually. Second season starts on the 30th. I'm ready for it. Well, not really, I gotta watch, but I will be ready for it. Next up here is Volume 3. I do have Apple TV and I have Amazon Fire Stick, though I do tend to buy most of my stuff. I don't buy like a lot of digital stuff. Now my cousin, what he does is he buys Apple. He's got Apple TV, and he buys things and then he like makes digital copies of it so that he always has it on him. Roku and Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is awesome. People really underrate Amazon Prime. This one here has more adventure stuff. Even the war stuff in this is actually pretty good. Definitely something to look into if you haven't checked it out. Now, I've got some different stuff on here, some stuff that I know are not going to be on anybody else's choices, and I think that's really kind of the way to go. I'm hoping not to cross over with a lot of other people's lists. Now, this is one I think really flew under the radar. $10. I can't. I gotta get the original. I gotta have it, man. I gotta have it in my hands. I've seen it in the store, so I actually am gonna buy it. The only time I've ever bought like the digital copies is when I couldn't find like the actual physical copies, and then I get guilty, and then I have to buy the physical ones afterwards. So I end up double dipping, and it costs me more in the long run. This is a Shout Select one that I think actually went under the radar for a lot of people, and I do think that if you missed it, check it out. And that is the double feature of Farewell My Lovely and The Big Sleep with Robert Mitchum. This is a really, really great double feature. Robert Mitchum, of course, is playing Philip Marlowe, like an older Philip Marlowe. And what I like about this, what I really like, aside from the stunning like cast of like celebrities that are throughout this these 2 films, is I like the fact that they lean into the fact that Robert Mitchum is older. They don't try to pretend that he's like playing a younger character. He's playing a hipper, younger Philip Marlowe. He's playing him like, you know, kind of like with the aged Philip Marlowe, and it really works well. It really adds a bit of like depth and to the story and to the character. That I think was missing in some other interpretations. He really does a great job. If you've never checked this one out, it's usually like, it's not that expensive usually. Farewell My Lovely, The Big Sleep, 2 actually fantastic films. They both have features on them. Sarah Miles is interviewed on this. We got like interview with the director of one of these. Michael Winner actually directed one of these here. Yeah, and it's not sleazy. Maxim Jabowski at Murder One interview. There's a Big Sleep vintage featurette on here. Definitely one to check out. There's a lot of Shout Select stuff that came out this year. The one that I most want that I don't have is Valley Girl. That's a particular favorite of mine. I'm a huge Nick Cage fan, and I love the soundtrack to Valley Girl. So that's one that's high on my list of Shout Selects to get. So as I go through, I'm going to mention like with each company, like with Indicator, I'm going to mention like definitely the Bud Boddicker set and the Samuel Fuller set are 2 definitely good releases. I don't have Macon County Line yet. Actually, that's the thing. This year I didn't get a lot. This is probably my only 2018 Shout Select release. I'm only really discovering Shout Select, and it's a shame because they put out such good stuff. Nighthawks, when they put that out, that was just an amazing release. The features, just the quality of it was incredible. So Shout Select is going to be a company that I'm going to be looking to collecting more in 2019. So expect to see more Shout Select releases hit on this channel right here. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yes, I have actually. And I do like that show. But I'm an Andy Samberg fan too, so. But there you go. So I couldn't choose just one. It just wasn't fair. And I've mentioned these. I won't spend a lot of time on these because I've mentioned them before. But That's definitely the Dan Curtis trifecta by Kino Lorber. If you haven't picked these up, they look at these amazingly looking slipcovers. These movies were 1970s TV films, and they look like, you're watching these here and they look like they were filmed yesterday. This is how well this is done. These all each had their own booklets, each had their own special features, interviews, commentaries with Tim Lucas, so it was a fantastic with doing audio commentaries. This one here is an audio commentary with Richard Harlan Smith. Audio commentary is brand new on this one here. New interviews on a lot of these here as well. Plays 4 roles in Trilogy Terror, and she does amazing. It's a great, great film. Highly underrated, Tim. And but all of these, any one of these 3 will look fantastic on screen and look fantastic in your collection. If you have not grabbed them yet, definitely pick these up. Yeah, she definitely had to wait a week or 2 on that one. She never wanted to admit that it was like a horror film. And that was kind of like, that was the thing for her. She was like, she was not like, she didn't want to say she was in horror. But she was, rest in peace, Karen Black, you were fantastic. No matter whether you want to call it suspense or horror or a psychological drama, you did a great job and you entertained us all for a long, long time. Now, next up is an Arrow release, and this thing just rocked my world. I was not aware of exactly how much work they'd put into it, but holy crap, they put a lot of work into this. And that is the complete Sartana collection. This one, I watched Silent Night, Deadly Night. This was amazing. It is filled with features. All 5 Sartana films are in here. Exactly. And she got to act with Tony Basil in 5 Easy Pieces, so right on. Who later go on to do Mickey. Definitely, if you don't have the Sartana set, if you even have a passing interest in spaghetti westerns, this really is the set to pick up. It is a fantastic set. It's 5 films, tons of like commentaries and features and video and like visual essays, retrospectives, interviews with people that worked on the films. It is just a wealth of knowledge in this set here, and I strongly recommend that you guys pick this one up while it is still available. The complete Sartana set, definitely something that belongs in everybody's collection. I'm glad that I got it in mine. Oh yeah, and in a way, Tim, that only the Italians can do it. What's really cool about Sartana is that there's a lot of twists in a lot of his films. There's one, and don't want to give a lot away, but there's a stagecoach robbery, right? So first you see these people being set up in a stagecoach. Basically, you're getting to meet the people type thing. It looks like they could be like the cast members. Think of like a Friday the 13th, like the remake type thing. I'll get around to why. We get to meet these people, start to set up relationships, right? Oh, that was on purpose. I try to put unique, odd little expressions on my face when I'm doing them. Hopefully it catches people in the thumbnails. So these people are introduced. They look like they're going to be part of the main cast. Robbery happens. They're killed off. The robbers are then themselves killed off by another set of robbers, who then grab the thing that they were looking for. Some of them are killed off as well, but are betrayed basically. It's really well done, and it's a twisty-turvy, like, kind of type of thing, all timey-wimey. It's really, really cool. So if you like that style of like film, and you like kind of those twists and turns, and you don't exactly know where it's going, Sartana does that. Klaus Kinski is actually in a couple of these films here, so that's really cool, and he plays a couple different roles. He does Kinski his stuff really well, and you know what? There's actually one of these here where he doesn't get super weird. So that's a thing, right? That's the thing you don't normally expect from Kinski. Next up, this one, there was no way I could not put this one on my list, and I'm a huge Larry Cohen fan, and they did a great job with it. I'm super, super proud to have this one in my collection, and it's the It's Alive trilogy. This is the super creepy baby one. If you haven't checked it out, I recommend it. A lot of people like just love the first It's Alive and say the second one's pretty good, and they bow out on the third one. I disagree. I think all three of them are. I think it's a solid trilogy. It definitely goes in different directions in each of the films, and as different aspects of like social satirical horror. And I really enjoy it. Larry Cohen is does a lot with a little. That's one thing I can say for Cohen. Yeah, she is actually. Karen Black, good one there, Tim. Karen Black is the mother to the wife basically of Michael Moriarty in the third It's Alive film. So yeah, with a little bit more Karen Black love here with the It's Alive trilogy, definitely worth picking up. And great films, great cast, and when you start watching Larry Cohen and you watch him on a kind of semi-regular basis, like you see a few of his films, you start to pick up on the way that he writes, and there's a flow to it and an ebb to his writing style that's really, really good and really interesting. Oh, I don't have Night Angel yet. I really got to get that one. Hey, Savannah, and ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Did you know I actually played Santa once for a bunch of kids at a family center? Pretty small Santa, right? Next up are two releases by a newer company that came out in the last year or so, and that is MVD Rewind, Canadian horror. So I have to have it. You know, Tim, I gotta have that. I love Canadian horror. And two of these are really well done releases. First off is Oliver Grunner's first film, Angel Town. I did get a kick out of this. I think it's really fun. I like these style, and a completely different style of MVD Rewind, but something that I think deserves notice nonetheless. Why Angry? And that is Bright Lights Big City, which I think is a really, really good film and really underrated. I would love to see them put out Light of Day, which is a film that I like. It's not quite the quality of Bright Lights Big City, but it's a great film with Michael J. Fox and Joan Jett, and something I've been wanting to see get a release for quite a while. So if you haven't dived into MVD Rewind yet, these here are a couple really, really good releases, and they came out recently. I do want to get Windrunner, which is another MVD Rewind release that just recently came out. But yeah, for sure. Now the marquee releases, they recently announced that only certain ones of them, hey Andrew, are going to have a special. Are going to have the posters that the MVD Rewinds have. So we'll see how they go with that, because the posters I think are actually really, really cool. Now next up for one that I do have to put on air, and that is a release by Vestron Video. And although the movie is not everybody's cup of tea, it is fantastically well done. This is really, really great. Top release. See, Andrew, there's no 4Ks in this one right here. Hey, Robert, welcome, dude. Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a good one there. I'm actually just doing, this is my top 19 Blu Rays of 2018. That way I got out of putting in any 4K stuff. So because I'd have to dive into the 4K stuff down the road. Hey, Cellulight Terror, dude, how's it going? Happy holidays. I hope you're having a fantastic Christmas there. Kids gonna be like that. Some of these, yeah, some of these Blu-rays are 4K scans. But one of them in particular that we're going to look at. But this one here, 2K scan maybe. It's Maximum Overdrive. Now this is a movie that I never thought would get this type of release. The Relaxing Before the Big Move. Yeah, you got that coming up. I do not envy you. I just got over the big move a few months ago. But once you get everything straightened away, it'll be fantastic. Locks are amazing. That's true. But yeah, there you go. Maximum Overdrive is incredible looking release. At the end of the video, if you're still here, Andrew, what I'm going to do, because it's not going to be too long of a video tonight, because it is Christmas, I don't want to keep people too long. What I will do is I will go over them really quickly again, each one that I've put out here. The features are amazing on this release here, and it is a great release for this one. So anyway, too many grades. There is a Vinegar Syndrome on this here list that I do have to show, and I thought of a lot of Vinegar Syndromes that I could have put on this list, but the one that topped it this year for me, can you guess what my top Vinegar Syndrome title is of 2018? So not only are you finding out my top 19 of 2018, but you're going to find out my top Vinegar Syndrome of 2018. Anybody got a guess before I go? I don't have Bloodhook. Bloodhook may have been my top, Andrew, if I did have it, because I love Bloodhook. I haven't even seen a really good edition of Bloodhook yet. I've seen it on VHS, and I thought it was super cheesy fun. So that's one that is on my list of movies to get. Jack Frost, not Jack Frost either, and that again is another fantastic one. But this is one that I think has flown under a few radars as well, and that is Incubus. Incubus is an amazingly well done film, and one that I honestly do think this belongs in everybody's collection. This is John Cassavetes, great cast by the way. John Cassavetes is in this film here. Kerry Keen's in this one. Who else we got in this movie here? John Arlen is in this as well. This is done by John Hoff, of course, who directed Legend of Hell House. Shot in, where was this shot? I can't remember this was shot now. But an amazing film, just incredibly well done. If you have not seen this, not a fan of the slip. Oh, look at this though. Look at this side. Look at this side of the slip. That's the cool side right there. You can always go to the other side. And this one's, I think this is see this, not so much. I like this side of the slip. Though it does kind of like it's a bit of a giveaway, sort of. Great film. Now, if you want to hear my thoughts on this film, however, well, they definitely do the best slips in the game. That is coming up in late January because I am going to be guesting on Just the Discs, talking about this and another film. So look out for that. More of a late January type thing that we managed to do together. And one that I would double feature with Incubus, and I think this is probably the biggest praise I can give Incubus, is this movie right here. And this is The Changeling. Whether you got this from the Second Sight UK release or you got the Severin release, you're getting a quality film. The Changeling is one of the best ghost stories of all time. Oh, excellent. Did you see the one with? Did you listen to the one with him and Steph? The like the top 5 of 2018 for them. And this, yeah, this is a fantastic release. Some people were like upset about like some audio droppage in like on the 5.0. But man, if you're getting the Changeling, you should be listening to the 2.0, like the audio for this, because that is the way the Changeling should be heard. Definitely check it out. This is a great release. This one here has a soundtrack as well. So if you're lucky enough to grab this release with the shiny case here, exactly, 2.0 die, ride or die, man. This has the soundtrack, and it has an incredible soundtrack. I always try now, whenever I get the chance to grab a regular release and a release with a soundtrack, I'm always going to grab the release with the soundtrack, and I'm always going to listen to the original, like the original audio format. I love when they do that. Speaking of original audio formats, I got to say this one right now, and 2018 cannot be complete without getting this one in your collection. And this is Synapse's version of Suspiria. Of course, there was a couple versions of Suspiria that came out this year. There were some exciting things for both of these. Overall, Synapse has been considered the most quality release. Oh, the Scored Maniac. I gotta get that release, man. This seems so cool. Is it really your favorite release? It's amazing, isn't it? And what really like hit me hard, because I'm a bit of like, I love, like, I'm not a person like, I love the visuals, but I love the audio. I like listening to the sound. And this one here actually has, and I gotta say this, original 4.0 English language LCRS sound mix, not heard since the theatrical release in 1977. So not heard since 1977 is the audio mix for this film. That is amazing that they are able to do that. Synapse worked on this release for years, right? You grab the Steelbook. I couldn't afford the Steelbook at the time. That's the truth of the matter. I didn't even think I could afford to get this one, to be honest with you. But my better half surprised me with it. It's one that I wanted for a long time. And I gotta say, hey Scalder, how's it going? We're doing the top 19 of 2018. And you got the Steelbook too? That is an awesome looking Steelbook, by the way. And definitely, yeah, the work that they put into this, it is amazing. The features that are in here, the commentaries, it's just incredibly well done, and it's it's like watching Suspiria brand new all over again. And if you've never seen it, like, this definitely is the way to see this film. Synapse movies may, yeah, exactly. 5 years of work. Oh, friends come. Oh, have a great time with your friends there. I'm really glad that you came in, Andrew, and you have a fantastic Christmas. I need to get popcorn. I really need that one. But there we go, Suspiria. If you guys, if you don't have this one, this is definitely one of the top releases. I gotta agree with Sarah Laterra, by the way, whose channel you should all check out because it's fantastic. Does way better reviews than I could even think about doing. Right here is Suspiria. We got a lot of good YouTubers on here, by the way. Next up is a release that I think has been, like, a lot of people haven't picked up on yet, unfortunately. But I'm gonna bet a couple people here have. Oh, you do. Is the Bloodthirsty trilogy. Now this here is basically his Hammer, like via Toho. It really is what it is. It is Asian. It's Japanese Hammer. They're very Hammer-esque type films, and they're really well done. My favorite is the third, which is Evil of Dracula, I think. But Legacy of Dracula, aka Vampire Doll, and Evil and Lake of Dracula are really good as well. Oh, Robert, you definitely need to get this one. It's such a cool release. And what's really freaky is that I expected to hear I thought I was going to see like Jasper Sharp because he did some for the Nakatsu Diamond Guys one, but it was actually Kim Newman that does the featurette on this one here. I was really pleasantly surprised to see that as well. It's always good when you can get the refund, though. That's the most important part. Some people are really stingy with that. You have to spend like a hard time getting it. So, unfortunately, you got one in really bad condition, but luckily you got the refund. Yeah, that's the thing. I had my dad had like the VHS of these. I've had like really like grimy bootleg copies of these, like ones under nefarious circumstances. So when this came out, my better half knew this was right up my alley. She's never seen these yet, so it's going to be interesting watching these with her. Very well done. If you're a Hammer fan, if you're a Gothic horror fan, definitely got to pick this up. Next up is another one that I think I'm trying to pick ones. Some of these here are definitely ones that I think kind of fly under, that I think are actually really cool. Now this one's a little bit on the sleazy side, but it's a good one, and that is Scalpel. I really like this film. I've always liked this film. Actually, this is one that when they announced that it was coming out, you read special features. Now you actually got to watch the film and look at the features. That way you can actually talk about stuff that you're doing, and you do that. Which super cool. Like there's unboxing people, and I do a lot of unboxing and stuff like that. I want to be a reviewer to the quality that you do the reviewing. So that's what I'm going for. That's what eventually when I start doing reviews again. Well, we'll see. We'll see how I gotta do. But yeah, Scalpel, and a lot of people didn't pick up on this one. Hey, Merry Christmas, James. Haven't seen you here in a while. Dude, got a new vehicle. Awesomeness. Welcome. I hope that Santa has treated you very well this year. So, actually, I've done that before if I've seen the movie and I'm just reviewing the film itself and not the features. But lately, yeah, I want to dive into everything. You want that disc to be opened up. You want to be able to say, okay, I've looked at every feature that's on there. Yeah, I've been busy. That's never a bad thing, right? I hope it's been in a good, busy way. Hopefully it's been in a really good, busy way. But yeah, Scalpel, definitely pick this up, guys. Really fun. If you like those kind of like Southern Gothic, like kind of like thriller, mystery, horror type things, it is pretty cool. Kind of Eyes Without a Face-ish. It's kind of cool here, and it's the guy that did the cinematography, like on this one here, basically he did like Virgin Suicides and Aaron Brockovich, stuff like that. So yeah, you got some good cinematography, huh? But no, definitely ones that I do think that deserve like a watch. Now, a company that I haven't given much love to this year, but that's definitely going to change, especially what I can see coming out in the last few months, and controversially give some love to, and that is Scream Factory has been doing some really good films, in the last little while. I need to start playing tennis again. But this one right here, In the Mouth of Madness, an amazing John Carpenter film, highly underrated, and in a way the most Lovecraftian, non-Lovecraft film out there, and it's just incredible. There's some great features on here as well. Audio commentary with John Carpenter is really cool, and Sandy King Carpenter. There's new Horrors Hallowed Grounds, definitely worth checking out. Blood Rage in a theater? Oh, that's got to be awesome. Definitely check out In the Mouth of Madness. Amazing release. I do agree with Steph. This is definitely a top one. Yeah, definitely one of his most underrated. I do think that Prince of Darkness is extremely underrated as well. Nobody ever gives that one any credit. But as far as scary films go, this is a better film. It is just so amazingly done. Sam Neill's Omen movie may not have been the greatest, but this definitely makes up for it. Next up is another Scream Factory. I'm just going to get through my Scream Factories really quickly. And this one I watched everything of. Prince of Darkness, right on. That's what I was saying, man. You're getting a lot of love here, Say Alive, man. You're getting a lot of love. Deserve it. If you do not have this Scream Factory release in your collection, get it. Get it now. It's really, really good. One, Urban Legend stands the test of time, and it stands the test of time better than a lot of other better known films. This is much better than I Know What You Did Last Summer, and its ilk. It's much better than many of the ones that are around it. Jamie Blanks does an incredible job on this movie. The original Urban Legend film is definitely the best of the three, but still, gotta have it. Nobody liked part 3. I don't think. It has a couple fans. But what's really, really good about this is it has aside from basically having the movie, the special features gets its own disc, and there's a reason for that. It has a fantastic feature-length documentary. You start and it goes right from the beginning of just from the beginning, the inception, the start of just the kernel of the film being made, about the guy that wrote the script, shopping it around, all the studios turning it down, from who different people that he had for acting in it. Jeez, are you being serious? But honestly, I would get the munchies. But yeah, the Urban Legend. 110% pick this up. Is this the best Scream Factory release of the year? This is one of the best for me as a slasher fan, as a fan of feature-length documentaries. This is a feature-length documentary. But my favorite release, I don't own it yet, and it is the highest pinnacle for me for Scream Factory this year, and it's not Creepshow, which a lot of people would say, but it's the Critters box set. The Critters box set looks to be incredible. That's one that I do want in my collection, and I'm sure if I did have it in my collection right now, that would be part of what I'm looking at right now. I'm 100% sure that would be on the You Love Munchies. I haven't seen it in years. I know it's a fun. I remember I had fun with them. There's 2 of them, right? Yeah, double feature. Yeah, so there's at least 2 of them. I don't have, but I love those type. I just picked 19. None of these are in order. But if I was putting an order, this would definitely be one of my top releases of the year, and that's the neat thing. Although it's a collector's edition, it kind of, again, people that got Urban Legend probably picked it up, but a lot of people probably didn't, and they didn't realize what a great release that they're missing out on. Much like the earlier in the year, Hell Night would have been one that I would have definitely put on there for being just such a really good release, and that almost made it here. Urban Legend kind of just nudged it out. And topping last year's Brain Scan, I don't have that one yet, but another release that I do need. I got to catch up on my Scream Factory a lot, actually. Just even beating last year's release of Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original one. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 comes with a vengeance. It's a really good release for this film. You could actually, a really great, there's like a 70-minute documentary on here. There's a ton of like of features on this release. And if you've never seen this one, I strongly recommend it. It's a really fun, really cheesy film. Is this a good film? No, it's a fun film. You'll enjoy watching it. It's one of those bad movies that you're going to have fun watching, especially because it shows you, if you've never seen Silent Night, Deadly Night and you don't have it, you can pick this up and see the best parts of Silent Night, Deadly Night. And you'll also see some really good acting. And of course, that classic meme, you know, garbage day meme. Oh, I hate when that happens. Yeah, it says garbage day. One that I'm putting here for one of my top releases that, again, nobody else will put on or agree with as the top release of the year. But this is my list, so it goes on there. And it's kind of like almost an honorable mention. But I wanted to put it on there because it's not as good as the first film. But the fact that he put it out and he did a really good features with it. Oh, have a fantastic Christmas there. Keep, you know, guard your room. I'm sure it'll be fine. And hope Santa treats you really, really well. And that is Urban Legend Final Cut. Nobody else in the world is going to put this on their one of their best of lists of the year. This is an okay movie that I just have like a real love for. Super cheesy, not the quality of the first film, not by far. But I have just a special affinity for this film. And they did a good job with it. I mean, like the interviews that they did on here, it actually is a decent like making of. It's not anything near like the hour-and-a-half long making of that you got with the original Urban Legend there. But made a double feature. Well, not for the first and second, because that would have been like, you would have had to do like 3 to set because there's way too many features on the first one to go that way. But if you mean like 2 and 3, 3 really isn't a slasher. So I don't want it to touch it. You know what I mean? I'm being honest. 3, maybe put 3 down the road with something else or something. You know, the Bloody Mary one. But I'm good with the first 2 because these actually do tie in together. And if you've seen the movie, you know where they tie in together. It has that moment of yes at the end of the film. So if you're like, I'm okay with the movie, and then you see the end of it, you're like, yeah, I like that. I like the way that ended. I like what they did there. I saw what you did. And this is, you know, last but definitely not least. And if I was to pick your favorite release of the year, oh, nice. They are fantastic films. My dad, I got to say, I wasn't, these aren't ones where like I knew, like, oh, these are great releases and I know. No, these are releases I knew because my dad introduced me to them. So my dad takes all the credit for me actually really falling in love with the Bloodthirsty trilogy. He completely found me on it. And the release of the year for me is this one right here. And I've said it before, it hasn't changed. And but I'll be honest, the Sartana box set almost wedged it out because that was just so good. But it is Night of the Demon. So if you haven't seen this indicator release, I strongly recommend. I think there's still some left. If they are and you don't have it, please grab up this release. It is amazingly done. There are 4 cuts of the film. There are a ton of features on this movie here, and like, you know, kind of some lengthy ones. Yeah, definitely Celluloid Terror. Amazing release. There's a booklet, a book in here, like a small book. There's a poster. It's really low. Actually, the run on it is really low right now. So I would recommend getting it ASAP. And it is a fantastic film. Of course, it's by Jacques Tourneur, an amazing director. Worked often with Val Lewton. So just because this one deserves the time. And because I not off the top of my head, I'm definitely not gonna be able to say it. But again, pre-release version, 96 minutes. Curse the Demon U.S. reissue. Cost me money. 96 minutes. There's 2K BFI restorations. We've got like a making of here. We got like 2 other cuts of the film. We have the theatrical US cut. We got the UK theatrical cut on here with 1:66 aspect ratios as well. Original mono audio. Tons of like retrospective and kind of like loving featurettes to it. the things from like Speak of the Devil, The Making of the Night of the Demons, run just like 20 minutes long. You think, oh, that's not long. But then you got Cloven 2, 23 minutes long video essay about the different versions of the film. Haley Chester at the Festival of Fantastic Films, a 51-minute rare archival video interview. Dana Andrews on Night of the Demons. There's a rare audio interview, 10 minutes long. There's a Horrors Unseen, a 27-minute like one done here on Jacques Tourneur and the cinema of. There's Christopher Frayling does a Devils in the Details, which is runs 36 minutes long. Sinister Appreciation by author Ramsey Campbell runs 90 minutes. There's a Kim Newman appreciation that runs like 21 minutes. The Devil Gets to Do is a 23-minute one done by Scott McQueen, detailing the film's history of its release. The Devil, we got the Truth and Alchemy discussion of the author. Runs 22 minutes. The Devil in Music, an 11-minute one on the score. There's another, a 53-minute audio recording of Michael Horton reading the original story. Escape, Casting the Runes, a 30-minute radio adaptation of it. We get a 7-minute Super 8 version of it there as well. Image Gallery, isolated musical scores, English subtitling. So if anybody there is hard of hearing or have an issue with that, you got that there as well. Amazing what was done with this here. It is one of the great box sets of the year and my top release of 2018. And there were some great releases out there that deserve, like I mentioned, the Ingmar Bergman cinema set definitely deserves a mention as being an amazing release. The Night of the Living Dead, put out by Criterion, also deserves definitely kudos as being an incredible release. I don't have it in my collection, and one of the things that I said is that I would talk about some releases that I didn't have in my collection, but I'll give you my top 19 of 2018 based on everything that I have seen and looked into. I want to be able to give you things that I've dived into and looked into and actually was able to sit down and enjoy. So I'm giving you like my thoughts based on my experiences that I've watched this year. And I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that I'm missing out on right now. So really quickly, for people that came in late, I'm going to go over all the releases that I put out there. And that the top release of 2018 for me is Curse of the Demon, or Night of the Demon, actually, however you want to say it. An amazing movie by Jacques Tourneur. You get 4 versions of the film, and like I just read out, a ton of features. A double-sided poster. You get a book let in here as well, which is basically book size, and definitely worth picking up. The Bloodthirsty Trilogy, which is James' top pick for 2018. An amazing like find. And if you haven't discovered this yet, now's the time to get it and discover it. Tim, have a great day there, and thank you for coming in and joining me, man. Next up is Suspiria, again, one of the top releases, and I think this was Celluloid Tear's top release here for 2018. This is the one he said of all the ones that he really wanted, that he got and really enjoyed. Amazing stuff. The transfer on this is incredible, and we get that original audio that hasn't been heard since 1977. Great stuff on this one right here. MVD Rewind, I wanted to highlight them a bit. Numbers 11 and 12 were Angel Town and Bright Lights Big City, 2 very different films, but if you're into either one of these films, this is really the way to see them. MVD Rewind is a company to watch for in the new year. Next up is the It's Alive trilogy, put out by Scream Factory. This is an incredible release. Not a ton of features, but it has some great audio commentaries by Larry Cohen with some great stuff. Plus, there's like, I think, an 18-minute interview with Larry Cohen talking about all 3 of the films. Great, worth picking up. They look fantastic on here. Definitely check them out. High on my release is the Complete Sartana. If you don't have it or you never got it yet, please look into this one. If you're a spaghetti western fan at all, or a western fan in general, this is one to own. It is a fantastic release. The amount of features they put in here are amazing. It's stunning. The 3 then as cheated making this one, but the trifecta of Dan Curtis films that came out from Kino Lorber looks you know, these are 1970s TV movies that look like they were put out on Blu-ray yesterday. They are amazing transfers, great booklets in here as well, fantastic features. One of my favorite is the interview with director John Llewellyn Moxey on The Night Stalker. Just an incredible interview, great stuff, and there's all three of these are amazing releases, ones to check out. Hey Jerry, how's it going, man? Merry Christmas. The Changeling is, whether you buy the Severin or the Second Sight edition, definitely one to pick up. One that's not on my list because I don't have it, but I'm sure it would be on my list if I did have it, and Second Sight put out an edition of When a Stranger Calls. I hear that it's region free, so people can get it no matter if they live in North America or in the UK. And you get both films on there. You get both the When a Stranger Calls and When a Stranger Calls Back. And the sequel actually is a really, really worthy sequel. Definitely want to check out. But if you want one of the best ghost stories, in my opinion, ever made, it's right here. It's The Changeling. It's a fantastic movie. Next up is one that was my Vinegar Syndrome release of the year, and that is The Incubus, but with director John Hoff. A great cast, having John Cassavetes in a really, really good role for him. Kerry Keane, John Ireland, just an amazingly well done film. If you haven't seen it, I do strongly recommend it. I think this is going to fall under a lot of people's radars, but it's definitely one to check out. It is very, very well done. It makes a great double feature with The Changeling. Next up is Vestron Video's release of Maximum Overdrive. They did an amazing job on this. It goes beyond the amazing slipcover and cover art here. They did incredible with the special features. They put this one at definitely, considering what these cost, this one here got like, in the USM, I got like a better price range. We didn't here in Canada. So thank you, James, because I'm glad I was able to rediscover this one again. Great amount of special features on here as well. A lot of like interesting stuff. And if you've never checked out, check out this one here. The only Shout Select that I got from 2018 that's making it onto this list, and that's because there's a lot of Shout Selects that I don't have. I want to dive more into Shout Select next year, and that is the double feature of Farewell My Lovely, The Big Sleep. Robert Mitchum playing Philip Marlowe, an older, more grizzled like Philip Marlowe with a few more aches and pains. Maybe I can relate to this just a bit more as I get a little bit older, but definitely worth checking out. It has a great guest cast on here as well. You got people from Charlotte Rambling, Sylvia Mills. Dude, I seriously appreciate that. That was incredible of you. John Ireland again. We got another one with John Ireland. Harry Dean Stanton, Sylvester Stallone, Candy Clark, Sarah Miles, Joan Collins, Oliver Reed, Edward Fox, John Mills. Just amazing stuff. So there, it's definitely, if you haven't checked this one out, guys, check this one out. It's a really great double feature. Next up are ones that a lot of people, I'm glad they put them together. Yeah, they actually did a good job with those two, because they do kind of belong as a double feature. You need the first one. You really do need Farewell My Lovely. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. They just did incredible. They rocked this one here with a 70-minute behind the scenes, like making of, like just taken off from the 47-minute one that was on the original Silent Night, Deadly Night. They do a great job with that. There's actually a really good here, think of like a kind of fun thing. Oh God, where's it at? I Don't Sleep was an interview with the makeup effects artist on this one here, and it's like a 60-minute long interview. It's really well done. Of course, Urban Legend made it onto my list. This is one highly recommended if you don't have this one. Great full-length documentary on this movie from inception right to the release of the film and that gets its own disc on here. So that's a super special way to see that one done. Next up is Urban Legend Final Cut, because I'm an unabashed fan of the Urban Legend. Like Duology, I don't consider it the third one, but this one here I do find fun. And the special features were just enough that left you wanting just a little bit more, even if it wasn't your favorite film. Next up is Scalpel by Arrow Releasing. It's a great film, and one that I think a lot of people missed out on. It's still around. There's an Arrow video sale going on right now. I'm not sure if this is part of it, but if it is, definitely check it out. It's the time to do that. Last but definitely not least is a fantastic fantastic John Carpenter film, and one of the creepiest movies John Carpenter ever made. And this is the guy that made Halloween. Remember that, guys? So that is In the Mouth of Madness. Highly underrated, severely, severely underrated film, severely scary film. And in my opinion, anyway, this is the type of film that scares me. I mean, now, that being said, I got to give you my bias. I grew up like reading and loving a lot of Lovecraft and Poe and that type of stuff. So this really rings true to me. This is more the type of movie that would scare me as opposed to some of the others type of films out there. So that is my top 19 of 2018, and I really hope that you guys at least get a little bit out of this. Like Starlight Terror, hopefully you went and bought Night the Demon, because you will thank me for it. I swear, man. You can like call me out if you don't thank me for Night the Demon, but I think you will. So there you go. I hope that there's some of those releases there are ones that that you guys are interested in. Obviously, I mentioned some that I didn't have on here as well, because I think it's fair for me to like say, okay, go grab the Ingmar Bergman cinema set or grab Critters, without having like experienced the whole thing myself. But there are for me are top releases. Fantastic, Robert Harding. Another YouTuber on here that I don't hear enough from lately, but I definitely want to hear more. So yeah, keep an eye on it. We had Corey on here. We had Cellulite Terror. We had Robert Harding on here tonight. Definitely, guys, and there's more of you guys out there. I know there are. Never feel always like be ready to link your channels down here. You can pimp your stuff at any time. That's what this is for. This is a whole group effort. What am I going to do now? You're probably asking, because my throat is going, and so I never even used the bubbly in this one. I just wanted to kind of like to dive through and get into this one and give you guys kind of like at an hour. I don't really think you can call this a mini episode, but with my videos, it's kind of a mini episode. But what I'm going to do tonight, what I'm going to do after I get off here, aside from get tea. Oh, Merry Christmas, dude. Did you buy Ned the Demon yet? Buy Ned the Demon. I'm just saying, man. What I'm going to do right now, before I go say a light terror, before James, for all you guys that are in there, Jerry, everybody, I am about to go and play the very last Christmas gift, surprise one that I got here on Christmas Eve, because we opened up our Christmas gifts a couple days ago, as you guys already know, and there was one extra one that came on Christmas Eve, and as a video game fan, especially of certain video games, I am super excited and stoked to get. All right, let me know what you think of it at Cellulite. Well, I'm guessing you'll review it. There's a lot to review, man. That's going to take you a while, but it's really cool, and it's really worth it. Oh, sold out? Are you serious? Oh, try Amazon UK. They might still have some, or try the actually. I'm not sure what their shipping's like, but actual indicator. Because they did say they were really getting low, as in like there was only a few copies left of it. But if you get a chance to grab it, man, just grab it. So I'm not sure if anybody here else but me plays video games or plays the Switch, but I haven't even opened this one yet. I haven't cracked it open. I'm really excited to check it out. 70-something characters to start with. Every character from every Smash game that ever came out, plus more. Got to do that. So, good night, everybody. Have a fantastic evening there. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I am Aaron. Thank you for joining me in the movie library. You are the movie club. You guys are fantastic. You rock, and you make every single Christmas merrier than the last. Have a good one, and I will see you next time.